Matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is NFL football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Check 27. Eyes on 27.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. And even 40 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. A first carry now. This is Hill. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
The numbers for Fitzgerald from last week. 6 catches, 88 yards.
And the competition gets a little bit tougher here because he's got to go against the #1 ranked defense in the NFL against the pass, the latest incarnation of the no-fly zone.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run with Michelle. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Alan Bailey in on the stop. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. And we're talking about Jason Kelce now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. There's Wilson to throw. That's complete to Meredith. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw is Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. A look at the Buccaneer starters now on defense. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Bring it. Check it back or check it back.
They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. Airing one out for Boyd. And this is taken in at the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Eric Swope, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Complete to right. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Stafford. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Jabal Sheard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. from the gun. Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On fourth down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lot, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. On 2nd and 7, Wilson.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Completes it to Fitzgerald. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Check 13. Check 13.
Play action. Now Wilson. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On the draw, this is Fournette. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Stafford. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
180. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
On first down, Stafford here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Covington able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing is Stafford. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Fournette running out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 23 yards the pickup there.
Let's go. Do it.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Wilson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Wilson. He completes it to Boyd. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michelle. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 now. Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing is Wilson. That's out to his running back, Michelle.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He gets this one to Boyd. And down inside the 15 he goes. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On second down, Michelle. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. The offense on third down tonight, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, second-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. On third down, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. From the 31, Stafford, he's got it, the tight end Jeff Heuerman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Play action, Stafford. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. A 56-yard attempt. And And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Third and long. It's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. They go play action here on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Looking again for Watkins, and this time that's complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the ground, this is Michel. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Couldn't do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling. And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Check. Fine, Madden. Check. 53 is mine. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. A give to Michel running right. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
He was brought down by 58, Mike. A 2-yard pickup makes it third.
Now Wilson on third down. And that will be incomplete.
Wilson's pass intended for Dallas Goedert. Incomplete.
So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Throwing again on second down. Stafford.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
That one good for 26 and a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Hat set, 280. 50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. What we got, what we got, what we got?
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Check three.
They'll run it again with Fournette. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
No game on this defense, no game.
On the ground, Michel. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On second and very short, Wilson. It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 39.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. All incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. They go play action with Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain.
Let's bring it.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
So out come the Bucs now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Hey, alert 3.
Now Leonard Fournette. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Fournette. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Tahir Whitehead, top 10 in tackles last year, up to make the play. Off of play action, here's Stafford.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice sack.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Robert Quinn, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Stafford. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility that people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So another snag for Fitzgerald, who in 2015 became the youngest player at age 32 to hit 1,000 receptions. He's piling up some more.
Well, the way he's playing today, it's almost like he's trying to get a second 1,000 just in one contest. And when they're operating this well and clicking like that, well, that's a big reason why they're winning the game.
Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. This is Michel on the counter. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got his man, Boyd. Tyler Boyd, he's going to go. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Well, after another passing touchdown, I don't think it'd be an understatement to say that he's in the zone, and I believe he likes it.
Joseph on for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Stafford now to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. First down Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Stafford now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford. And then he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing again is Stafford. And Robinson with a big catch. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Again, it's Stafford. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Stafford looks to throw again. And then he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Bucs on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. To the air again, Stafford. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
On 4th down, Stafford. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Bruce Arians takes a shot there, but his guys come up empty. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Time for Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense to take over now. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that's what I do. Switch.
They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This is 3rd and 8. They go play action now. Wilson. And able to find Green. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the ground is Michel. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Michel.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He's got his man here. It's Green. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 13-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough Just bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. Now it's Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, but it'll be second and goal. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. And they will run it with Michelle. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. They'll try to run it in. Michelle. He loses 4, and it brings up fourth. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Here's Stafford. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Second and 10, Stafford again. Complete to right. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Bucs on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is third and 7. Now it's Stafford. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Set, lady. Exit. Sponge.
On the run, it's Fournette. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 44, Stafford, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first, and it's third down now. Here's Stafford. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They begin with Michel on the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And it's Michel once again. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
It's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 2.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Let's go!
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go. Check. Lucky.
On first down, Michel. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 32-yard line.
So the victory here for Seattle. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Seahawks, they pick up win number 7 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.